Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This, here on the Nerd Turtle Network. I'm your host, the experience that some call Jason, and joining me today is...
The blurred Don of the Ville, the Todd Father.
The token stalwart failure, Tarky.
CDO-113, the droid you're looking for.
And today, we're going to talk about when Hollywood needs to just let go. When they've had an idea that maybe they've had great success with, and they just keep trying to replicate it, and just keep falling on their faces. I think we all agree one of the best examples of this, it's probably Indiana Jones.
Best example is kind of a toss-up for me between Indiana Jones and the Highlander series. That story was over.
Yeah.
It was over quick. Hell, after the first one, it was like, oh, and they lived happily ever after. No. It's Highlander 2, where they're all aliens. Look, he's an old man, but now he's young again, and that's, and you see the one version where they literally, fly off into space, sand ship. Yeah, yep, it was over.
Yeah, they beat that horse.
They beat the shit out of that horse.
They beat the horse, they beat the saddle, they beat the horseshoes.
Well, I was bringing up Indiana Jones, though, because they're yet again trying with that one.
Yes.
Indiana Jones 5.
They have waved a sum of money in front of Harrison Ford and said, "We need you."
Trick is, I think Harrison actually likes putting on the hat and the whip.
Oh, I'm sure
he liked being. He never. I don't think he ever really liked being Han Solo, but he likes being Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, with Indiana Jones, it's about him.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think he likes being kind of the,
second fiddle.
Yeah, the second fiddle or the sidekick. Not that I necessarily consider him a sidekick in that, but
He was the main of a trio.
But hell, he was the one that got the girl. It's like they took a baseline protagonist and cut him in half. Okay, this half gets the girl, this half beats the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, and the half that beats the bad guy is her brother, but also kissed her because, well,
because Lucas was making it up as he went along.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the movie, but let's not pretend he had some master plan.
Nah. I think he had the overall story. I don't think he had, but he did not have the minutia by a long shot.
Yeah, he didn't have the details filled in.
Yeah. For me, the Indiana Jones saga stopped at Last Crusade. Like I was saying off mic, yeah, last is literally in the title. It's the Last Crusade. That's it.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell that it was intended to be the wrap up at the time.
Yeah. And it's a great bookend. That's it. It works. The hero rides off into the sunset with his dad and his buddy. And you get a good laugh about him being named after the dog, and it's cool. Let's stop it there. But instead, you got Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where the only good thing that came out of that was the phrase, they nuked the fridge.
Yeah.
And the phrase came about because of how bad an idea that actually was.
Yep.
And how many years was it between Crusade and Crystal Skull?
It's a minute, because Last Crusade came out the same year it came out in 89, because it came out the same year as the first Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah, 89.
It was more than 5, less than 35.
And Kingdom and the Crystal Skull was in 2008. So they waited 20 years to try to do a sequel.
Yeah.
That's usually not a good idea.
No.
I'm sure if we poked around, we could probably find an example where maybe something close to that worked. But
the only something that I can think of where you can have like a decade in between stuff and it still works, Star Wars.
Bad Boys.
But that's also because Star Wars is kind of independent stories when they do a jump that big.
Yeah.
They're technically connected, but your cast of characters is completely different.
Just like you're moving on to another generation.
Yeah.
Bad Boys had a pretty decent jump in between each episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it had it had decent jumps, but it wasn't quite 2 decades in between.
No, it wasn't 2 decades. More like 8 to 10 years.
It's like you were getting a snapshot of them at different points in their career.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like they were trying to pass the torch or the fedora, if you want to go that route.
Yeah.
In Crystal Skull, and everybody looked at Shia LaBeouf's character and was kind of like, eh.
How about no?
And rumor is that there may be this newest one, maybe another attempt to pass the fedora, and it's
Yeah, and that's just it. You can't pass the fedora one as long as not Indiana Jones is alive, but Harrison Ford is alive. That's gonna be a problem. Two, the story's over. So the only thing you could possibly do is like reboot it, which again ain't gonna work as long as Harrison Ford is alive. And truthfully, and most likely the generation that saw the first one, you're gonna have to do that shit like they do King Kong. The first one's in the 30s, the next one's in the 70s, the next one's in 2000. You're gonna have to let some folks die out before you do that shit.
And Hollywood ain't really got that kind of patience.
The archaeologist Indiana Jones, the idea of how they handle archaeology has changed over the decades because you don't have that jungle swashbuckling guy going in there and robbing the crypts anymore versus, hey, let's take toothbrushes and paintbrushes and uncover this thing inch by inch.
Well, hey, I hate to tell you this, Danny. I really hate to tell you that in the 80s it was still toothbrushes and
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying, but
you don't have what you don't have anymore is you don't have that pulp hero kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The pulp era hero could get away because even go back and look at the Mummy. Yeah, he was wanting to use dynamite to open stuff up, and the girl, she's like, "No, we use this," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, the guy that excavated Ilium or Troy. Yeah, he was blowing stuff up and blew past the layer he was actually the layer that was actually the history he was looking for, and had to backtrack. But one thing you also don't have is it's a little harder these days to have your hero run in and rob the natives, and somehow the natives are still the bad guys because they're trying to stop them from robbing their temple.
Yep. Yeah.
That's pretty much how
Archaeology worked back in the day.
That's how Indiana Jones worked.
Well, if you go look at the Museum of History in England, this is all ours. We found it.
Yeah, it's all other people's stuff.
Yeah, it's all other people's stuff, though, and they won't give it back. That's what I'm saying. It's like
France is actually having to give, I think it's Benin, a lot of their shit back.
Yeah.
And they should.
Yeah, they should. Because you found it.
You go to the big national museum in Nigeria. It's full of Nigerian stuff.
Yeah,
this is our history.
I mean, we live in an age of 3D printing. You can just make a copy of it and then hand the original back. If you want to just show this is what it looked like, this is how it functioned, you can just do a 3D print of it now.
Which that won't attract the tourists as much, which means it won't bring in the money, which is why they don't want to give it back.
Yeah. I don't know. Making it interactive instead of it sitting in a case could raise, but that's not us talking about Hollywood needing to let go there.
Yeah,
Their lust
we are
for
getting off on a
continuing something.
So another film series you got coming up that's doing the same thing is The Matrix.
Yep.
I never saw the third movie.
Really?
It was interesting, but it didn't really explain anything.
Yeah.
Well, Todd, I hate to tell you this. I watched the first one on TV, and I watched the second one on TV. I never saw the third one on TV.
So the first one in the movies. Jason, wasn't that me and you went to the midnight showing with Daryl back when we used to get the free tickets and saw the other two that way?
Yeah, the second one and third one I think we saw that way.
Yeah.
I saw the first two in the theater. I saw the third one when I rented it.
Between you, me, and the fence post. Shit, I went to sleep on part of the third. Like I said, that was back in the day when the midnight shows were actually at midnight. Yeah, I faded the hell out in a part of that, and I woke up when you had the Sentinels attacking. Yeah, I woke up for that, but yeah, I had to go back and rewatch that shit later to know what the hell went on because I faded right the hell on out. But that was another one that story was over. I think that's my thing with a lot of those, like Highlander. Story was over. Indiana Jones, the story was over. The Matrix, story was over.
Scream, the story was over, and they kept beating a dead horse into what 4 or 5.
Like the Saw movies, they kill the villain off pretty early.
Yeah, and they're still doing them.
But that's kind of my thing with the Matrix. I mean, hell, it's gonna be on Max for free, so I'm gonna watch it. But I don't have high hopes for it. I'm really sit. That's one of them I'm watching to see. I could totally enjoy it, but I'm going into that one kind of braced like, okay, how they gonna mess this up?
I'm going into it braced for it to be, no better than Reloaded was. I expect to go into it, now there's some good fights. I will enjoy the fights.
But Fishburne ain't in it, and hell, I think you're gonna have some version of Smith, but it's not it's not Hugo Weaving, so give a fuck. I don't really.
And this is another one that it's been almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Since the other one ended. Because Revolutions came out in what, 2003, 2004, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm figuring the Morpheus you get in this is AKA Morpheus' son, and he's the new.
No, it's Morpheus, but he's young, so I'm thinking that's a Neo created something because Neo's ass should be dead because he was dead.
Yeah,
Trinity was damn sure dead. She wasn't just Matrix dead. Hell, she was real life skewered dead. But they running around in this, so I'm figuring some kind of way this is either Neo's version of the Matrix or something. I don't know. Like I said, it's there's so many different ways they could cluster fuck this. Yeah.
Well, the trick is after the original trilogy ended, the Wachowskis themselves couldn't explain anything.
Huh.
They were in interviews unable to really explain anything. They didn't have it figured out, and I'm expecting that now. I mean,
yeah.
Either it's going to be them trying to fix plot holes and make stuff work from the original trilogy, which is probably not going to work very well, or it's going to be some big twist that basically scraps the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a dream. Oh, it was a movie within a movie. Oh, it was, I'm not expecting anything out of this except some good fights.
Yeah. It'll be nice to see what special effect improvements or something pop up out of this, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like you said, Todd, they, well, I say they, it's only one of the Wachowskis doing it this time, but, I could be surprised. I could be pleasantly surprised, and this one could really hold together story-wise better. I'm just not expecting it.
I'm not even expecting real kick-ass fights, because, hell, everybody's old.
Well, Keanu Reeves is still doing the John Wick movie, so, he's still spry.
Yeah, in a movie where he does more shooting than anything.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm just saying, he's still in pretty good shape. He could probably still pull it off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me want to invest in Icy Hot. We'll get over here and buy a bunch of Icy Hot stock. What do you think about Ghostbusters?
Because that one still hasn't come out, right?
No. Afterlife? No.
Yeah, Afterlife. Which for me is just the weirdest thing of going well, rebooting it didn't work, so let's try a continuation.
Yeah, and the hard thing for people to accept is it's something that this is something that people were asking for 20, 30 years ago, like when everybody was still alive.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is one of those movies that it's what it is because of the cast more than anything else.
Yep. And when you change that, you can pretty much give it up. And I'm waiting for the Masters of the Universe Revelation reaction for Ghostbusters, because newsflash, when they bring back your old heroes like that and you got a bunch of young ones, that's because your old ones getting ready to croak. They're getting ready to kill them motherfuckers.
Yep. They gonna die a glorious death saving the
they may die heroically, but if the ones is left still alive after that, I'd be shocked.
Well, Ghostbusters is classically at least a comedy, so they might not do that in a comedy. But if they decide, we'll make it a little more serious, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, after it didn't look much like.
Yeah, this don't look all that funny.
I mean, when you see them driving Ecto 1 and shooting the things, it looks funny to see kids doing it. But the whole gist, and it's filmed kind of dark, It's not, and when I say dark, I don't mean dark on the screen. I mean as in
it's depressing.
Yeah.
Depressing. Because kid goes from the big city to middle of nowhere podunk, corn belt, and he's a fish out of water. Oh wait, Grandpa was this nutty old scientist. What's this? Oh crap! It's the end of the world. That's not funny.
Well, first Ghostbusters was End of the World too, and it was funny as crap.
Yeah, that can be funny. It was just this man left the world alone and in squalor, believing in this thing was going to happen. I have to wipe the dust off of stuff to get his equipment working. You know, that's the depressing tone, because you did it slow and methodically and like with emotion. Where in like Ghostbusters 1, they're hitting up that fire station that's busted down and they're just speeding through it, because you have to just hit joke after joke after joke to make a bad situation funny. That was a bad situation that said, please linger on this situation and understand how bad it is.
The tone is different, yeah.
They were trying to evoke an emotional response in the trailer.
Yeah.
So like, you know, they're going for sad emotional response, which is not typically what a comedy goes for.
Well, I think the Ghostbusters reboot with the chicks that, you know, to me wasn't a reboot, you know, it was a what if, you know, they handled that one poorly, because if they had went into that one going, hey, these are our granddaughters, you know, there's a
It still
connection.
would have sucked.
It still would have,
Movie just wasn't good.
yeah, it still would have sucked, but it would have made more connection with the audience, I think.
Again, like the subject, Hollywood needs to learn when it's over. Ghostbusters is over. It's great to go, man, I'm a fan and I love the 2 movies and it's this and I love the cartoon. Hell, I love the fucking cartoon. But it's
Now,
over.
to be fair,
Yeah.
the only thing that Ghostbusters can really claim to have continued with and been pretty good was the video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The video game that they did was essentially your 3rd movie. But
I've heard that's kind of what they were planning to do when they want to do a 3rd one.
yeah. But it's over. And that's the thing. It's you know, I'm gonna do it with 4 women this time. I don't care, because it's over.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do it with 4 kids this time. Guess what? I still don't care, because it's over.
I'll watch it when it comes out. I'll rent it. I won't go to the theater to see it. I mean, if it comes on HBO Max, I'll definitely watch it there. But
Stream it.
Yeah, it and Indiana Jones, I think, are in the exact same boat.
yeah,
You had your initial ones, they were fine. You waited too long to try to do something else with it. That kind of belly flopped. And now you're trying again.
Yep.
well, that's like Blade Runner. They waited 30 years too long.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I watched both of them, but I mean that was a sequel I could have done without.
I have not watched the Blade Runner sequel. Got a buddy at work that loves it.
Oh, sweet God. Hell, we talking about these and we forgetting one of the granddads when you mentioned Blade Runner. Terminator.
Oh,
For
man.
God's
Oh,
sake,
sweet goodness.
stop doing fucking Terminator movies.
And TV.
Jesus H. Christ. You gonna have the damn T-800 in a fucking wheelchair. Just stop. Fucking stop.
Well, you haven't really had a successful one of those since
Since
2.
2. When the fucking story ended.
Yep.
The story fucking ended. It literally, hell, if you get the one before it made a shit ton of money and they changed it, it literally fucking ends.
Yeah.
It's Sarah Connor with her kid as a grandmother with her kids on Judgment Day, and it's fucking over. And then when it blew up like it did, they went, "Ooh, shit, we can make some more of these," and that's when it turns to the road. It's like, oh, in the road. No, didn't keep going. It ended. It's doing the damn thing.
The whole point of 2 was we changed the timeline and it's over. We did a good job. High fives all around. Let's live forever.
Terminator and Highlander are the ones that they fall into the kind of their same boat.
Yeah.
Of success and then just failure.
I got another one. Aliens. Aliens. The shit was over. Everything after that sucks complete ass.
They could have done a 3. You could have had a 3 where, the xenomorphs get to Earth, and you could have done something with that.
Yep. But they didn't.
Well, in the 3rd one, yeah, the xenomorph does end up on Earth. They just don't show you the aftermath. Because at the very end, when that ship crashes, yeah, there's xenomorph eggs on that damn ship.
Well, 3's on a prison planet.
Oh yeah, 3 is on the prison planet.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the 4th one.
Three-
When they clone her, you know,
Yeah.
you had that alien xenomorph, and then you had her, and she was technically a xenomorph clone, just the human version, because she had alien DNA.
Yeah, you're still getting into the whole, it was over and the story was just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, you could. If I was ending the shit, I would have ended it at Aliens. because okay, you didn't had that, you had the middle there. Okay, it's done. They did Alien 3. Now, when Ripley took that dive into the fucking molten lead, it was damn sure over.
Yeah.
That's it. It's over. Just stop. Stop doing the damn thing.
Yeah, 3 wasn't good. It wasn't good because they just bungled the production. They literally had the sets built before they had a script written.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, that Aliens, Terminator, done. Highlander, done. Ghostbusters, done. Shit. Stop doing the damn things. Come up.
all right, but everything we've talked about so far has at least had some success. Let's move into ones that maybe didn't. Now, the first Transformers or 2 made money.
They made money all the way up to last night, but they ain't had one that was actually good yet. Bumblebee comes closer to being good than any of them.
I enjoyed Bumblebee, but that was a side thing and not one of the main movies. So
Yeah.
But them and G.I. Joe.
Yeah. G.I. Joe, they need to stop.
G.I. Joe, I don't know how successful either one of those were.
Well, now you got 3 of them. The last one flopped.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got Snake Eyes. They keep, just stop. Shit. Either do something that's almost 80s nostalgic, cartoon accurate. Because even with Bumblebee, for me, I don't give a fuck about the parts of Bumblebee that were on Earth. The only thing that got me excited about Bumblebee, and the only reason why I give it any kind of praise whatsoever, is the scenes on Cybertron where they finally made the damn Transformers look like the damn toys I used to play with.
Yeah.
That's fucking Optimus Prime. That's Wheeljack. That's Soundwave. That's Shockwave. That's Ravage. As opposed to the CGI jumble of shards of metal that you had bouncing around in pieces of shit for the past, I fucking movie?
Yeah. Yeah, there are some of them that I look at and I'm like, who the fuck's this supposed to be? And
Like
it's
Tony said with the first one, he had a stand-up when he was working there at Walmart. And he had a dare for anybody. He was like, if you can name any of these fuckers other than Optimus Prime, I'll eat this stand-up. And
The stand-up remained
Yep.
uneaten.
and hell, I'm a Transformer freak. And I'm sitting there going,
I mean, I guess, like that first Transformers movie, like I say, Optimus look, close enough to Optimus, but okay, that's him. Bumblebee, the only reason I could pick Bumblebee is because, well, he was yellow. That's the only yellow.
Bumblebee was Sunstreaker.
See, I don't think about Sunstreaker when I see a yellow Transformer.
I do. Because it was a sports car. I was like, oh, it's a yellow sports car. That's Sunstreaker. Nope, that's Bumblebee. The fuck? It is? Where? I see Bumblebee, I think lame. Oh, he's a little lame one.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorites as a kid, but that was just because I liked VW Bugs.
Like VW, I like what he turned into. I hated the character. Because he was literally the smallest, weakest thing there.
He was a little annoying sidekick, like the talking animals and all the Hanna-Barbera stuff. I was so used to those in cartoons that they didn't even bother me.
You see, for me, that was Spike. That was the humans from him. It's like they like the talking animals.
That's fair. That's actually kind of fair.
When you said Spike, I didn't go Transformers. I went Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm like, why did Spike bother you?
About Spike and Sparkplug. I hated. Damn. Somebody kill Spike. I know they used to have jobs. How do they eat?
No one knows. So, to kind of wrap this up, why do you think Hollywood does this?
Money. And they can insure a film, even if it flops, they make money because of the insurance.
Well, and the thing is, it's name recognition. The trick is they don't tend to do them these days, especially. They don't tend to do them well. The whole reason of doing, well, okay, I'm gonna do another Ghostbusters movie, is you do that because Ghostbusters is a known property. You know it's been a success in the past, so you know it has fans. The trick is, a lot of times when they do them, then they go, okay, and now we're going to subvert expectations, which literally cuts the throat of the reason why you did it in the first damn place.
Yeah.
You're not going to get your old fans subverting expectations. You get your old fans giving them the shit they remember.
By meeting expectations.
Because Because we don't wait 25 years to get some new stuff for you to go off in some weird direction with it.
Because that's the reason why about half of these don't really fucking work. You know, it's I'm gonna give you He-Man. Okay, we're gonna bring back He-Man, and He-Man's got fans, and you know, all you old fans get excited for He-Man, and now we're gonna give you our version that ain't shit like the one you grew up with. And here, 2021, then they will actually go online and attack the motherfuckers that should be your base.
Yeah.
Well, how dare you not like my re-envisioning of He-Man as a... No, you fucking idiot. The whole reason you did that shit was to get the built-in fan base. If you want to
but my question still stands. You know, why does Hollywood keep doing this? You say money, or Danny said money. But like take Terminator. It keeps failing. You got more failed movies at this point than you had successful ones.
Yep.
Well,
it's not making money. Why are they still fixating on it?
All right.
Because gauge the age of the people that are now in charge. They grew up watching it. They have the money to fund it, and they think it was great when I was a kid. It should make money.
They got a track record of it not.
Yeah, but see, all right.
And they're rich enough to be blinded by nostalgia for it to not
I
matter.
guess so.
All right, Jason. Let's say you film a movie, and it takes $100 million to film it. It hits the theater, and it makes $200 million. Is it a success?
No, you gotta make about 3 times your budget to.
Okay, you're the
Make
guy.
about double to break even.
You're the guy making the movie. You insure said movie for X amount higher than what you think that movie's going to make.
That doesn't solve the problem, Danny. That just pushes it off as to who's making the mistake. Because the insurance company should not be willing to insure a movie that's, this is going to be the 3rd failure in a row. Well, the last 2 or 3 of these movies flopped. Why would any insurance company?
Because they pay the high-risk insurance fees. It's the same thing like a professional singer can insure their voice, or a hand model can insure just their hands. Yeah, it's a high-risk premium, but when they call in to claim it, they pay out. I'm not saying
it still comes down to somebody ain't making money, but keeps doing this.
Right.
And that's my thing is it's a business and it's not making money. How does it keep going? I mean, I get if you're like Uwe Boll made money with his movies because he had a way for Germany to lose that money. But somebody was losing money on every one of his movies.
Yeah, who knows? It may all be a drug front.
That's always a possibility.
It'd be a damn good way to launder money.
Yeah.
You make a fair point there.
You know, Terminator 6 flop, but this cocaine money is now clean.
Well, think about Vegas. That was for generations. That's how the mob cleaned a lot of its money.
Yeah.
So, Hollywood.
Because Jason's right. At a certain point, you would think somebody would go, Terminator's perfect. It's had way more failures and decades of failure than it ever had success. The first 2 were success. They ain't had a success since. That last one, Dark Fate, they say that damn thing lost like $200 million, And I'm pretty sure on the board somewhere somebody's going, so another Terminator? Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me in 2 or 3 years you're going to get another one of them sons of bitches. And it's over.
Well, I mean, you either go long enough to have a success, or you just go far enough that you've jumped the shark, and you're just making them because you got folks coming into the theater to see them.
Terminator doesn't jump Everest. It doesn't jump way more than a damn shark. I mean, it doesn't jump Discovery. It's jump Shark Week.
Kind of like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Sharknado.
Well, the Fast and the Furious movies, though, are still making money.
Yeah, they're still making.
So from the business point of view, I completely understand why they keep making those.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in seeing them anymore, but plenty of people still are.
Because the Fast and the Furious marketed itself as, we are a popcorn movie with people you recognize doing cool shit.
Yeah.
If you played with Hot Wheels as a kid, this is us taking real, quote unquote, real cars and doing the stuff you had your Hot Wheels doing.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need a plot. It tells you, it's kind of loosely connected. Don't worry too much about it. And it has had wild success.
Did he die? Yeah, don't worry about it. You know what we did? We put his corpse in a car and he came back to life. Don't worry.
You know, when you play with your GI Joes, people would some of them would get shot, but they just pop back up the next time you played. It's fine. Well, I guess that's going to wrap us up then. I'm just going to plead with Hollywood. Stop. Just let it go. Let it go. Come up with some new shit. It'll be all right.
Relax, relate, release.
So if anybody out there has got movies you think we should have included in this little list, and trust me, we know there's others out there. We weren't trying to cover everything. But if you can think of one that we really should have brought up, let us know. You can leave a comment below. You can contact us at thenerdeternal@gmail.com. You can contact us at our site, thenerdeternal.com. If you want to support the show, you go to our site. We've got a shop. Anything you buy, it helps us keep this stuff going and improve our tech and whatnot. If you don't like us quite enough to go to the wallet, just like, subscribe, recommend us to your friends.
Recommend us to your enemies.
Anything you can do helps, and we appreciate it. So anyway, I've been your host for the day, the experience that some call Jason, and with me has been
The Blurred Don DeVille, the Todd Father.
Token Millennial, Tarky.
Savio 113, the droid you're looking for.
and we will see y'all next week.